Go ahead.
This is Chris Kuhn with KHCC Country. I am sitting here with Drake Gallows, and I'm going to have a little one-on-one interview with him.
Speak up just a little bit.
Speak up a little bit?
Yeah, you got to speak up a little bit. We're on the internet right now. We're on the radio. Everyone around the world can hear us, Kuhn. Don't you know that? You have a radio show. You should.
Oh, yeah, I should, huh? Sorry. We had Stone on earlier, and he was talking about Doink. I'm kind of...
You're a little flabbergasted.
I really am. That's really depressing.
If I'm hoping that they'll play the John Stone segment before you play mine, because then you can understand. But really, I mean, we were really disappointed when because honestly, when I was a little kid, I had a Super Nintendo, and the WWF Superstars game.
Right.
I always played as Doink the Clown. I mean, I'm a 7-8-year-old kid. I know that game was still a little old at that time because it was the 90s, but. I mean, really, it was a little disappointing to see that because, I mean, I expected, first class. For the record, Bushwhacker Luke, first class. I mean, he's a straight-up gentleman.
And that's what I've heard from everybody.
Straight-up gentleman.
Everybody that I've talked to. Just for the record, we're here in Claremore at the Claremore Expo Center for what they're billing a WWE Superstars Wrestle with Domestic Violence, I believe is what
pretty much what they're doing is, from what I understand, there is a center that is being built in Claremore somewhere near here, and the whole point of this event is to help produce money to build a playground for the children, because they built a house, not exactly a house, but it's almost like a motel for women who have been in domestic violence suits, and they have to get away from their husbands or boyfriends or whoever, parents, fathers, whoever happens to be beating them and their children. So these women, single mothers, women are with their children in these little homes, and they have no playground for these children. So they've got a place to stay, but they need somewhere to play.
Okay.
So the whole point is to try to pack this place out and see if we can get some people here to help build a playground for all these kids who have nothing better to do but sit.
And it'll also be a good experience for the workers who haven't worked in such a big environment.
Oh, honestly, I mean, I wrestled the KCW Arena in Wellington, Kansas, fit 1,500 people, and just about almost as big as this building. This building fits about 3,000 seats, plus we've got extra chairs. So there could be, close to 4,000 people here if we pack the place out. I mean, I never try to expect too much, but, it could happen. It could happen.
Absolutely. So I'll ask you some of these general knowledge questions.
Right on. Shoot, buddy.
How long have you been wrestling?
I had my pro wrestling debut in December of 2008 at the age of 15. I was working on Indian Land for OECW, Outlaw Extreme Championship Wrestling, and there was nothing extreme about it. I mean, I wrestled in brand new ring. It was the coolest thing about it. I wrestled a kid who had 3 matches in his career named Nathaniel Blade, and there was about 4 people in the crowd, including the workers' children, so I think maybe one person paid for a ticket. Very, very upsetting debut, but at the same time, the experience was great, and I had a great time, just because I needed to get that off my chest, and I needed to get that debut over with, because the sooner once you get the first one out of the way, you can only go up from there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's really good experience.
Everything else is downhill from there.
Oh yeah, it's all downhill, and you can either get better over time and eventually turn into one of the best people, in this business, or you can stay at the level you're at
and turn into
Doink the Clown and just be a piss poor excuse for a professional.
And I know I'm back on the Doink thing again.
It's just, I mean, I really do understand you going back to Doink, because, I mean, god damn, dude, he is a piece of shit.
Well, here's my thing. I mean, and let's just go back, and I'm sure it was Steve Lombardi that was actually in the Doink costume.
Steve Lombardi
at the WrestleMania, I think it was WrestleMania 18, the Gimmick Battle Royal. I believe it was.
I don't know if that was him in 18. I know Steve Lombardi was the second Doink at WrestleMania 9.
At Caesar's Palace.
At Caesar's Palace, he hit Crush with the leg, the
fake
prosthetic.
Arm.
It was an arm.
It was an arm.
It was an arm. Okay, prosthetic arm. And the infamous mirror image thing was pretty awesome. When they faced each other, and the ha thing. It was pretty awesome. But
and then because just for an example, the Battle Royal, he was, out of everybody that was there, the crowd popped the loudest for him.
Oh God, yeah, he's a clown.
And it's the name, and whether or not you're like, yeah, well, like I said, like we were saying earlier, whether it's Matt Bourne, whether it's Dusty Wolf.
Oh God, don't even get me started on Dusty
Well,
Wolf.
I'm just saying in general, whether
the guy, I can't bash him too much, but Jesus,
he's the best jobber in the business.
He's the best jobber in the business, man. That motherfucker, just too much crack, too much crack.
Well, whether either that, Steve Lombardi, whoever, it doesn't matter. What, you're carrying on a name of Doink the Clown, and
and there's about 23 to 25 Doinks in the real world, so I mean, who gives a fuck?
I can put some makeup on and be Doink the Clown tonight.
No, we might as well just see where he got his outfit, see if we can get Doinking sooner on a regular basis, because I'd do it.
Right.
I mean,
hey, we can put Devin over there. Doink.
I think he's taking a nap right now. He's drooling a little bit. But what was the next question?
The next question is, how many injuries have you had?
Injuries, good God, countless. When I was training, before I even had a professional wrestling license, I was in a training session at the Underground Arena, probably 16 years old, and I was rolling around with the Prophet, a guy who I have respect for, but at the same time I don't really care to be around just because he can't prove it, but a couple of people assume that he might have been a thief, and I don't like people who disrespect my property. No matter who you are, what you do, I keep my stuff locked up, and I don't touch other people's crap. I don't want to mess with your stuff, so I don't see any reason why you should mess with mine. Anyway, he goes to put me in an ankle lock, 350 pounds, probably 400 at the time. Slips and falls. He has his leg underneath my kneecap, and his entire body falls onto my leg, shoves my ankle to my ass crack, and separated my knee and tore my ACL, PCL, and my meniscus all at once.
That was very nice of him.
Yeah, what a dick, right? Yeah, I was out for 4 months at the age of 16, so you could understand how itchy it was to just sit there and watch everyone else wrestle and train. And I did security for Sooner for almost 3.5 years. Waiting to have my debut finally, and then finally when I turned 18, I got my license, and it was a pretty good experience for me because it was a lot better than any other thing I'd done before that.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more from Drake Gallows right here on KHCC.
Damn right.
I just do it in segments. It's easier that way because I can stretch them out longer.
Commercials.
Yeah, you can pause that if you need to.
It's pause time.